Hi guys, I hope you all are doing great and your preparations are going very well for your examination. Tomorrow you have your CMA intermediate paper number 5, and today we are going to start with the MCQs that are there which will be asked in your examination. The Super 90 add-on MCQs are going to help you to score good marks in your MCQ part of your paper. Okay, so we have around 90 MCQs and I will maximum take your 90 minutes. If it is possible for me to reduce the time, I'll try to do it, but I'll cover all your concepts over here along with this MCQ so that you are very good to go for your examination. So let's begin with our session. Yes. What is the chief source of legal authority in India? You know it, right? Constitution of India. Competency to contract relates to what? Age of parties, soundness of mind. Age of parties, person should be a major. Soundness of mind means the person is of sound minded, they have their senses at the time. Both age and soundness of mind, intelligence of the parties. So it's option number C, both age and soundness of the minds, soundness of mind. Intelligence of party, this topic has never been discussed and it's not there in your contract act also. Okay. So, as per the Sale of Goods Act, this is not included. What is not included? Money is not included. Okay. The Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 extends to the whole of India only through the capital cities of states, the whole of India except state of Jammu Kashmir, or the whole of India except the Union Territories. So, it is the whole of India except the Union Territories where no provision is made by the contract between the partners for the duration of their partnership or for the determination of their partnership. The partnership is called as, tell me what it is, partnership at will, because there's no duration specified. If they want, they can cancel it any day. So that is partnership at will. Now, what is the exact time limit under which a LLP must file its annual return? Yes, tell me what is the time limit? You guessed it right. It must file its annual return within 30 days from the closing of its financial year. The employer shall display an abstract of the act and rules in form number. Yes, what form number it is? Form number U. Correct. The following cannot be nominated for the purpose of EPF Act. Who cannot be nominated for the purpose of EPF Act? Yes, wife cannot be nominated for the, sorry, it's not your wife, it's son of a deceased sons who have attained majority. You cannot nominate them. Wife you can nominate, father-in-law you can nominate, unmarried daughter you can nominate, but sons of a deceased son who have attained majority, this people you cannot nominate. Okay. An appeal shall lie to High Court from the order of ESI within how many days? You have to specify the number of days from the date of order of ESIC court. So they have a time of 60 days. In that duration, you have to file a appeal if you want to the High Court. The minimum rate of wages on time work basis may be fixed in accordance with what? By the hour, by the day, or by month. Anything works. All of the above are the correct answer. Okay. Option number D, all of the above is correct. Now, which public company is required to appoint independent director? Yes, tell me. Which public company is required to appoint independent director? Public company having turnover of 100 crore or more. Public company having paid up share capital of 10 crore or more. Public company which have in aggregate outstanding loans or debentures and deposits exceeding rupees 50 crore or any of the above. Tell me. Yes, you are correct. It is any of the above. The following is the disadvantage of business ethics. What is a disadvantage? Through increasing morale and trust, business can increase their market share. This is advantage. Publicity due to well and ethical performance, of again an advantage. Acceptance of products of the company by the public, it is also an advantage. Diversity in achievement. So this is a disadvantage. Okay. When the concern is caused by undue influence, the contract under section 19A. So see, there are four things where it leads to one particular type of contract it being formed. Yes, voidable contract, your misrepresentation, undue influence, coercion leads to voidable contract. Okay. Fraud also leads to voidable contract. Dissolution of partnership means what? It means the dissolution of partnership between all partners of the firm. It means change in relation of partners, or it means reconstitution. So dissolution means change in the relation of the partners. Now, contribution of 10% to PF is applicable to what? Establishment in which less than 20 employees are employed, any establishment declared as sick individual company, jute company, or all of the above. Yes, tell me what option it is. For less than 20 employees are employed, it is required 10%. Establishment declared as sick industrial also 10%. Jute company again 10%. All of the above are correct options. Okay. Now, right to property is what? Fundamental right, fundamental duty, constitutional right, or none of the above. Right to property is your constitutional right. Okay. A contract is what? A legal obligation, an agreement plus a legal obligation, consents ad idem, or an agreement plus an legal objective. So you're correct. An agreement plus a legal obligation is called as contract. There should be an obligation that is legal. Okay. Doctrine of caveat emptor applies to there is no implied conditions and warranties. The buyer discloses to seller the particular purpose for which the goods are required when the goods are sold by sample, or when the seller sells the goods by making fraud and the buyer believes it. Tell me. The doctrine of caveat emptor implies where there is no implied condition and warranties. Okay. Banker includes any person acting as an employee of bank or any post office saving bank, any person acting as a banker and any post office bank, any person acting as an agent of any bank and any post office saving bank, any person acting as MD of any bank and any post office saving bank. Tell me. So any person acting as a banker and any post office saving bank is called as banker. Now, what are the rights of partners after dissolution? To have the surplus distributed among the partners or their representatives according to their rights. Yes, this sounds correct. To have business wound up after dissolution. This also sounds correct. To have the property of the firm applied in payment of the debts and liabilities of the firm. This also seems correct. So I would say that all of the above are correct over here. Okay. Whether a HUF can become partner in LLP, tell me. This is one thing we had discussed. You might have discussed when you were reading LLP. Can they become partner? No. HUF cannot become partner in LLP. Okay. Age of the adolescent worker as per Factories Act 1948 is, as per Factories Act 1948, what should be the age of a worker, adolescent worker? Tell me. Yes, who has completed 15 years but less than 18 years. Then after 18 you are a major. So 15 to 18 in as per Factories Act you are an adolescent worker. Okay, let's go ahead. Gratuity is payable to an employee on his superannuation, on his retirement or resignation, retrenchment, on his death or disablement due to accident or disease, or in all of the above cases. So on the case of superannuation, retirement, or on the death, all the cases, gratuity is payable to an employee. So it is option number D. Now, while filing an appeal to EPF appellate tribunal, the employer has to deposit dash of the amount due from him. How much he has to deposit? Tell me. Yes, option number C, 75% of the amount due from him is to be deposited. A member of the ESI shall cease to be a member if he fails to attend consecutively how many meetings? See, consecutive meetings they have asked. You have to answer in that manner. 3, 5, 7 or none of the above. Tell me. Yes, 3 meetings, 3 consecutive meetings you do not attend, then you will be ceased to be a member of ESI. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, one second, let me scroll down. An instrument of the proxy shall be deposited with the registered office of the company dash before the conduct of meeting. How many hours before the conduct of meeting you have to give that instrument? You have to tell me that. 48 hours before. Correct. New definition of wage under the code specifically excludes which of these? Any bonus payable under any law for the time being in force, any conveyance allowance or the value of any traveling concession, house rent allowance, or all of the above. Tell me. Yes, all of the above. New age definition of wage under the code excludes all these things. Bonus, conveyance, house rent allowances. A quasi-contract. A quasi-contract is a contract, is an agreement, creates only a legal obligation or none of the above. Yes, it creates only a legal obligation. It's not a contract signed or agreement signed. It just creates a legal obligation. You have found that thing, you have to return it, right? What would be the position where a minor elect not to become a partner? Okay, minor elects not to become a partner. He shall be entitled to sue the partners for his share of the property and profits. His rights and liabilities shall continue to be those of a minor under this section up to the date when he gives the public notice. This is also correct. His share shall not be liable for any acts of firm done after the date of notice. After the date of notice, his acts won't be liable. If he says that I don't want to be the partner, from that date, his acts are not liable. So it's option number D. Now, the minimum administrative charge payable by the employer to the fund is, how much is the minimum? 500 rupees. Okay, clear? So this is 30 questions that we have covered. I hope you are okay with the speed and everything, and we are covering nicely very fast because I want you people to revise them easily before your examination. You can hear these things before you go to examination also, like an hour before your examination. Now, which of the following words is not mentioned in the preamble to the Indian Constitution? Which words are not mentioned? Indians. Okay. Now, if only a part of consideration or object is unlawful, the contract under section 24 will be only a part of consideration or object is unlawful. Then what happens if any part of it is unlawful? That becomes a void contract. Which of the following result or results in an offer, a declaration or of intention, an invitation to offer, an advertisement offering reward to anyone who finds the lost dog of the advertiser? So a declaration of intention, that is an invitation to offer, that is showing a intent. Invitation to offer, clearly not an offer. Advertisement offering reward to anyone who finds the lost dog, that is clearly offer that they are giving. An offer made in a joke. So this is not a right one. Option number C will be a correct answer. The undertaking contained in a promissory note to pay a certain sum of money is, the undertaking should be unconditional. We have seen this, that it should be unconditional. Okay. Maximum number of partners in a firm carrying on banking business cannot exceed. How many maximum number of people are allowed? Only we are allowed till 10. Okay. Partners in a firm carrying on banking business. Okay. Audit of accounts of every LLP is not compulsory if its what turnover does not exceed in any financial year 40 lakh and or whose contribution does not exceed 25 lakhs. Are we clear? Great. Now, where more than dash workers are employed, provision shall be made for cool drinking water under hot weather. So it should be 250 employees then only. So this is not I just as per the conditions of the environment, but it is 250 as per the law. Okay, let's go ahead. Which one of the following is to be included in the definition of wage? What is to be included? Dearness, overtime, commission, or HRA? What is to be included? Tell me. Yes, DNS allowance is to be included. Withdrawal from PF may be allowed for marriage of the employer, post matriculation education of children, for the purchase of dwelling place, or for illness in certain cases. Tell me what should be included for the purchase of a dwelling place. Withdrawal from PF shall be allowed for this purpose only. Okay. Now, who among the following is not the principal employer? Who is not a principal employer? Legal representative of contractor is not the principal employer. Occupier of factory, principal employer. Owner allowed. Legal representative of owner allowed. But legal representative of contractor is not the principal employer. Okay, clear? Okay, let's go ahead. Now, every inspector come facilitator appointed under subsection 1 shall be deemed to be public servant within the meaning of section of the Indian Penal Code. So they are asking you particular section. This rarely they ask you. So it's section number 21. The bonus shares may be issued out of free reserves, securities premium, capital redemption reserve account, or any of the above. Very clearly we know this, all these can be used. What is the paid up share capital for the appointment of a woman director? Woman director, you have to remember, woman director, this is a special one. They ask you few times. 100 is the paid up share capital. Okay. Ethics are the set of moral principles that guide a person's behavior, philosophy, religion, profession, or religion or profession. So ethics guide your behavior. Okay, clear? Now, while filing an appeal to EPF appellate tribunal, the employer has to deposit how much? 75% of amount. Okay, are we clear till here? 45 questions done, 45 more to go. I hope we are clear. Halfway we have covered our questions. Okay, now what does estoppel mean in the legal terms? Yes, the act of being prevented from denying something. You cannot deny that now. Okay. Agreement of wagers are void and unenforceable. Wage you know very well how wages contract are entered. So they put a wage on particular thing that this will happen or not. So these are void and unenforceable. You cannot enforce them. What does section 17 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 deal with? 17. Yes, you're right. Fraud. Now, which of the following statements is true regarding conditions and warranties? Conditions and warranties. Breach of condition allows for termination of contract. Breach of warranty does not. This seems correct. Breach of warranty allows for termination. This is wrong. Both conditions and warranty allow for termination. No. Only breach of condition allows for termination. So it is option number A over here. Okay. If the amount is paid after due date and no interest rate has been specified in the instrument, the interest is payable at what percentage the interest will be payable? Tell me. Yes, it will be payable at 18%. Okay, C, option number C, 18%. Now, under section 52, if a contract creating a partnership is rescinded due to fraud or misrepresentation, the party entitled to rescind is entitled to. Now they have cancelled the contract. So what powers does that party get? A lien on the surplus assets of the firm, or for any sum paid for the purchase of share in the firm, and for any capital contributed. Yes. Rank as a creditor of the firm for any payment made towards the debts. That is also correct. They'll get a rank over there. Be indemnified by the partner or partners guilty of fraud or misrepresentation against the debt. Yes, they can get the money, their losses made good, indemnified. So option number D is your correct one over here. What is the purpose of the certificate issued under form number 19? See, forms related things you have to remember, because they are going to ask you all these questions. This is used, form number 19, to confirm the LLP's registration under the Act. A safety officer is required to be appointed where more than dash workers are ordinarily employed. When safety officer will be required, where more than 1,000 employees are ordinarily employed. Okay, workers are employed. Yes, an employee within dash days of acquiring a family shall submit a fresh nomination. So when the person gets a family, within 90 days, they have to submit a fresh nomination. Suppose someone gets married. So in 90 days, they have to inform that now I'm married and this person is my nominee from this state. The employees, yes. So the employees deposit linked insurance scheme applies to all establishment except, see, it applies to manufacturing companies, government offices, retail businesses, but it does not apply to tea factories in the state of Assam. Okay, let's go ahead. Who is the ex officio chairman of the Medical Benefits Council under section 10? So who is that person? The Director General of ESI. Which one cannot be transacted through postal ballot? You cannot do this through a postal ballot. Yes, that is appointment of an auditor. Others, you can do election of director, buyback of shares of company, change in place of registered business of office outside the local limits. Then, if any inspection is refused or if any copy required is not furnished within the specified time, the company shall be liable to a penalty of how much? 25,000 rupees. Okay, that's option number C. Which principle emphasizes those public office holders must make decision impartially, fairly, and based on merit? Which of that principle says that you have to take your decisions impartially? You cannot be partial, fair, or based on like you have to do the decisions fairly and based on merit. So that is objectivity. Okay, nearly 59 questions we have covered. Let's go ahead and see what is next. Yes. Now, According to section 128 of the Indian Contract Act, the liability of surety, now whose liability they have asked over here? The liability of surety is asked over here. Okay, limited to a specific amount, if that is a specific amount, yes, only for the principal sum of debt, coextensive with that of principal debtor unless otherwise specified in contract. If they have given specified amount, it is co-extensive with that of principal debtor. If principal debtor pays some amount, so your liability will be reduced from that amount. You don't have to pay the entire liability. Okay, 1 second. Yes, yes, in case of breach of contract by the seller. Yeah, in case of breach of contract by the seller, the buyer may recover interest on the price paid, which is automatically payable from the date of contract, recoverable from the date of payment of seller, payable only if agreed upon in the contract, recoverable only after a court order. So it is recoverable from the date of payment to the seller. Okay, let's go ahead. Which of the following, it should be endorsement, E should be there over here. Which of the following endorsements exclude the right of further negotiation? Here you cannot further negotiate. See, pay the contents to C only, you can negotiate it. Pay the, excludes the right of further negotiation. Pay C for the order on account of B, here also you have the right of further negotiation. Pay C for my use. This is something where you cannot further negotiate. Okay, no, sorry. Pay C, this also you can read. Pay C value in account with the Oriental Bank. Value in account with Oriental Bank. You are restricting. Now you have to pay only to the account in the Oriental Bank. That is option number D, which is restricting. Other cases you can further negotiate, or if you want further, that can be transferred. Okay. Yes, the dissolution of the partnership means what? So again, this is a similar question which was asked to you. What does dissolution of a partnership mean? So you know it very well. It is dissolution of partnership between all the partners. When dissolution of firm is said, that is firm's dissolution. But partnership means the relation between the partners is going to be dissolved. Okay. Now, what document must a firm file to apply for conversion into an LLP according to provisions of the second schedule? As per second schedule, you have to apply a statement in form number 17 containing the firm's detail. Dash is the exact time limit under which a limited liability partnership must file its annual return with the registrar. And how many days do you have to file your limited liability partnerships LLP's annual return? Tell me. Yes, in 60 days. Okay. Now, which one of this amounts to a safety measure? Artificial intelligence, ventilation, fencing of factory, or first aid appliances? Yes, fencing of factory is a safety measure. Okay. First aid appliances is you're keeping it, so it's not a safety measure. Fencing the factory is a safety measure. So yes, nomination is to be made by an employee in form number F. Okay. Section 5AA provides for the appointment of dash by the central government to to assist the central board in the performance of its functions. Executive committee. Okay. Now, what's ahead? The term of members of Medical Benefit Council shall be of 4 years. Now, Section 56 talks about offenses by companies, penalties, power of officers, or composition. Composition of offenses is talked about in section number 56. Okay. Yes. Let's see what's next. At any annual general meeting, a resolution must be resolution put to the vote of the meeting shall be decided on written vote, show of hands, secret ballot, or voice note. So it is by show of hands. The appointment of an independent director shall be approved by general meeting, board meeting, registrar, or central government. So I have told you earlier also, appointment of director, independent director will be approved by general. The following is the disadvantage of business ethic. What is the disadvantage of business ethic? We have seen this question again. It has been repeated. Diversity in achievements. That is your option number C over here. Because through increasing morale and trust, business can be increase their market share. Publicity due to well and ethical performances happen. Acceptance of products of company by the public happens. These are benefits of ethics. right? Advantages. But diversity in achievements is a disadvantage. Okay. Let's go ahead. Which of the following is not a major source of law in any modern society? Judicial precedent, we have seen in Indian regulatory framework also, that is legislation, it is a major source. Executive order, it is. Custom is not a major source of law in any modern, sorry, not custom, executive order. Custom is also, we have seen that this is a major source. Executive order is not. Okay. Judicial orders will be there, customs will be there, judicial precedent, whatever judgment has been passed, legislation is there, that is there. Okay. An agent is a person employed to do any act for another or to represent another in dealing with the first person, second, third, or fourth. Yes, it is third person. Agent is a person employed to do any act for another or to represent another dealing with the third person. Okay. Now, in case of a sale by auction, if the seller makes use of pretended bidding, it uses pretended bidding to raise the price, sale is voidable at the option of buyer. If buyer wants, they can say we don't want to go ahead with the contract. Which one of the following is not a type of endorsement in case of negotiable instrument? Blank, full, written, restrictive. Yes, tell me what type of endorsement it is. That is option number C, written. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's see the next one. The implied authority of a partner is to carry on the business of firm in the casual, usual, unusual, or special way. In the usual manner. Chapter 5 of the Factories Act 1948 provides the dash to be taken in the factory for the workmen employed in the factory. Operative measure, recreative measure, safety measure, or welfare measure. Yes, tell me, what is the responsibility? They have to look for the welfare measures. Okay. Section 55 of the Code of Wages 2019 talks about offenses by company, composition of offenses, penalty for offenses, impact of offenses. This is section number 55. It talks about offenses by company. 56 we saw that talks about composition of offenses. Now, dash means a company in which that other company has a significant influence, but which is not a subsidiary of the company having such influence and includes a joint venture company. Right? We have seen this, which is not another company's, which is not a subsidiary but has a significant influence. Which company has a significant influence of the company and having such influence includes a JV also, joint venture company also. Yes, tell me. Yes, so that is associate company. Very good. The annual return of an one-person company in absence of company secretary shall be signed by dash of the company. Who can sign it? That is right. Director can sign it. Now, let's go ahead. One minute, let me plug in the charger. Yeah. A startup company may issue sweat equity shares not exceeding dash of its paid up share capital up to 5 years from the date of its incorporation. So that is 50%. Okay, it cannot exceed 50% of its paid up share capital up to 5 years from the date of its incorporation. Now, let's go ahead. Where the equity shares of company are listed on a recognized stock exchange, the employee stock option scheme shall be issued in accordance with the regulations made by whom? Yes, tell me. Yes, you are correct, by the SEBI. Where auditor is dissatisfied with the information provided and finds that he cannot express a proper opinion on the statements, he will be issuing what? A disclaimer of opinion. He is not satisfied, he cannot express an opinion. That means he will disclaim the opinion. Clean report when there is no issue. Adverse opinion where there is no persuasive evidence. Qualified report is yet another thing, but you cannot express an opinion. That means disclaim your opinion. Okay. Every listed company shall establish a vigil mechanism. Sorry, one second. Yeah. Every listed company shall establish a vigil mechanism for dash to report genuine concerns. Yes, tell me what should be the appropriate answer. every listed company shall establish a vigil mechanism for directors and employees. Who are the person over here liable? Directors and employees. Okay. Now, which one of the following is not an attribute of emotional intelligence? This is again an ethics question they have asked you. Self management, it is an attribute. Social awareness, again, is an attribute of emotional intelligence. Corporate management, relationship management is an attribute of emotional intelligence, but corporate management is not an attribute of emotional intelligence. Okay, let's see the last two questions and then we are done with your MCQs. Holders of public office must act and take decision impartially, fairly, and on merit, using the best evidence and without discrimination or bias. The principle of public life is known as, again, this question is repeated, it is objectivity. Last question. Which of the following, one second. Yeah. Which of the following is the disadvantage of business ethics? Again, this is repeated, diversity in achievements. Okay, so I hope you are clear or thorough with all the 90 questions and you were able to answer along with me while I was discussing these questions with you. Okay, all the very best for your examination. Give your best. Solve the MCQs if possible around after 1.5 hours of your paper, so that you have ample of time to solve the best questions that are there in the paper. Utilize the time very nicely, skim through the questions nicely, mark on the questions which you want to appear first, which are your best answers. That the best answers, appear them first, then go for MCQs, I would say, and then the remaining paper you have to complete it. For this MCQs, I would say take 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. That is maximum you should give for MCQs. Read the question very nicely. What is asked in the question? Not is a word that is used in the MCQs to confuse you people. So read the question very, very carefully. Okay. If you want, you can just skim through or use a pencil to tick mark or something where you want to keep a mind that not is written over here. So when you look at the options, you'll be very careful again. While reading the options, you'll be seeing that, oh, not is given over here. Okay. Give your best, stay calm, stay hydrated before your examinations, during your examination, carry a water bottle and give your best. Okay. That's it from my side. All the very best for your examinations. Thank you.